Hey family, thanks so much for joining me. So I wanted to bring you another video. I've been feeling pretty energized, and every single time I think I'm done, I'm not done. I got more to share with you. So thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing the things that you've been sharing with me. I am looking at everything, and I appreciate you being here and sharing those things with me. I'm hoping that you're getting something out of these videos too. I hope they lift you up and share information that is good and useful for you. All right, so I have another reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. Of course, this is a timeless reading. Could be happening now, could happen in the past, or could be happening in the future. You can use this as a manifestation reading. All you need to do is claim this for your own. Um, I get my information from God and from the Holy Spirit. I don't get information from tarot or anything like that. So, excuse me for 1 second. The ideas just keep coming. So I'm trying to share them with you, but so something that I was thinking about is um, the dark feminine energy, of course, and then there's so many ideas that are popping up from me, and I'm trying to capture them all, but it'll come back to me. But so if you'd like to work with me, my information is in the description below. We have masculine and feminine energies in our bodies. So if I say divine feminine, it might be divine masculine that I'm talking about. So use those terms as they make sense in your situation. If there's anything that I leave out, try to sprinkle it in. And let me go in. So one thing that I wanted to get back into has been the talking about the dark feminine energy, because I think it needs to be talked about lately. And I feel like so many feminines have been, either silenced, or it's not been a friendly environment for us to express ourselves, to share if we like pleasure, if we, whatever it is that we like, to be able to express if someone's hurting us, causing us pain, because they're trying to protect, other people's reputation and things like that. Um, that we're not asking for what we want or what we need, that we're not asking for reciprocity in certain situations, and it's not right. But we have to start, and so I've been seeing it more lately, and so this is some of what I wanted to share. So talking with a feminine lately, and they, basically caught their husband doing something like communicating, over a platform or over like text, things like that. And that's not the only one that I've seen, but it was like, and then I also saw another couple where the masculine saw feminine communicating with men over text, and to balance it out. And so, but we've been talking about the dark feminine energy, um and what I've seen more is women stepping up, and of course I'm encouraging them, in the coaching, and and things like that I'm doing. But of course, women stepping up and saying if they want a relationship or if they don't want a relationship, if they're, because some women are saying that they want their peace, and that's another thing, stepping into the dark feminine energy and saying, the the goal of my life is not just to get married and have kids, and that's it. Like, I also have other goals. I also want to, we've been talking about collective. We want to, you know, we got work to do in this world. Whether you're working with other twins or mirror souls or couples or people that are married or partnerships, things like that, that you're, helping us set these new templates for the way that we interact with each other, the way that we show love to each other. Whether you're helping, in different ways and lifting people up in the world. Um, it's been more, more feminines in the dark, feminine energy talking about they have goals, they have ambitions, they have dreams, and it's okay. It is supported, it's encouraged. They want their peace sometimes. They're not willing to continue in relationships where things are not being reciprocated. The person is not showing love, they're not supporting, they're not encouraging, they're not communicating, they're not opening up, they're not being vulnerable, all the things that they need to be doing and make sure that on their side the relationship is growing and getting better and changing and all that stuff. They're not doing those things. Those are the things that we need, um, our counterparts to be doing, um, reciprocating in the relationships. And if they're not, so many people, so many women are getting into, or people, whatever, getting into the dark feminine energy and saying, no, I'm not tolerating if a person doesn't reciprocate, if they don't compliment me, they don't support me, they don't encourage me, they don't try to lift me up, they're not trying to help me with the responsibilities in the household. If there are kids, or if there's not kids, if there's cleaning, if there's cooking, if there's things to do in the house, we need to be doing it together. And again, this is where, I'm talking about that template that needs to be, you know, created all new, so that everyone knows everyone should be, giving equally to, the situation, so that things can get better, that things can change, we can all grow, and so on and so on. It's really important. And again, people in the dark feminine energy saying if it's not happening, and asking for better. And if they're not getting it in a one situation, they could find a situation where they are. Now, don't get me wrong. Um, there are going to be times when there are ebbs and flows. And so sometimes you give more, sometimes your counterpart gives more, but that shouldn't be like every single time you turn around, your partner is not giving anything, you're giving everything. That's not the way that it should be. But in the dark feminine energy, we are not afraid to say that if we want more. Because in the past it's been, and I was talking about this in another video too, probably in that one about Christy and Desmond Scott that I was doing. Um, it was a live video, but I was talking about in the past, so many, you know, women, so many people in the feminine energy have been just, they sweep things under the rug, or they let it go. They don't complain. They don't fight back because, it was economically, um, an advantage for men instead of women, and still now is. But I think we might get like between 50 and 60 cents, 50 and 60 cents, where men get $1. And it's like, it's not, it's not good. It's not right. But it's being, being okay with being in the dark feminine energy and saying, I want more pay, for what I'm putting in. Now, don't get me wrong. Some people are not really putting in, they're not doing anything, and they want all the rewards and accolades and all that stuff. It doesn't make sense. They should be giving, they should be doing, they should be pitching in, they should be helping if they're going to, um, get all the, the rewards and all the stuff like that. Now also, don't get me wrong about this, it is our divine inheritance to live in the lap of luxury, to have nice things, beautiful things, to have luxurious vehicles or homes or clothes or, you know shoes or whatever, shades, hats, belts, bags, to be in great relationships and all this, but we also want to put the energy out there in order to get it, you know, back, coming back to us. So, but it's important, again, being in the dark feminine energy, to speak up. And there's nothing wrong with that, to say, well, this person is not pleasing me, and again, it's reciprocity. So if you're doing everything, you're, as much as you can, you're trying to please this person, and they're not doing anything, they're like, well, you should just worship me. That's not the way that it should go. And in the dark feminine energy, we're no longer afraid to say that. So we understand, the position that we're in, a position of power. Like I was talking about those people that, one person caught their masculine, one person caught their feminine, texting someone else. But it's like, okay, um, that being said, now the person is not afraid to ask for what they want, to ask for, and that's a huge part of it, I feel like. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying anyone deserves to be cheated on, and I'm not saying that anyone is justified in cheating either. But what I am talking about is, if I think a person is communicating more and saying, I want more of your attention, I want more of your time, I want more of your physical affection, I want more cuddling, I want more holding, I want more talking, I want more intimacy physically, I want more this, I want more that, I want, can you do it this way, can you, I can talk you through it so you'll know the right way to do it, the right spot, and this and that. And so doing that, I feel like the relationships can be better. But again, I'm talking about being in the dark feminine energy, because if you're not in an energy like that, you might be afraid to say, I want pleasure, I want you to do this, I want you to touch me here, I want you to cuddle me there, I want you to spend more time with me. Let's spend time just cuddling together all day, or for an hour or whatever. Let's spend time just talking like we used to, or whatever. Don't think I think it's important for people to know that all the stuff that you are doing to get the person is the stuff that they might expect you to continue to do those things to keep them. And if you don't, they might just leave the situation. And I think, you know, the expectation should be communicated. They should be telling you what they want. And then on your side, if you're not, willing to work at it or do anything, why would you think that the person would want to stay with you and be in misery for the rest of their life, or years and years, or months even, when they could just find a situation where them and the other person, they are both giving, they're both loving, they're both trying to make things better, and it could be better. So, I think, more we're less afraid to be in the dark feminine energy. And when someone is telling us lies, when, for the collective, you might have an experience where, a guy is coming up to you and telling you a lie, and then you find out that it's a lie, that you're not afraid to call him out on it and walk away, if that's what you need to do, because it's not fair for someone to try to deceive you. And you think that if they did it this time, they might do it again in the future. It's really awful, and it's not right. Um, or it's not right for someone to try to use you, take advantage of you, or what have you. It's really not good. Um, but it's important for you to continue to assert yourself and stay in this energy where, if someone's lying to you, again, that you call them out, or they're trying to use you, that you don't let them take advantage of you, or if you catch on to it. People around you are telling you things that are true. If you can, just kind of take a step back sometimes and think, this is what's happening. This person is trying to take advantage. They're trying to manipulate me, or they're trying to use me, or this or that. What would you tell a friend, a close friend, family member, someone that you love, if they found out that someone was trying to manipulate them, use them, lie to them, take advantage of them? You would tell them, walk away and don't look back. If someone's trying to play games with them, walk away, don't look back. It's not fair, it's not right. Um, and not being afraid to say what you want, what you need. Again, touch me here. I want you to cuddle me. I will cuddle you. So you're willing to give, but you also want to receive. And there's nothing wrong with, you know, the reciprocity. There's nothing wrong with being honest if someone's, like I was talking about, cheating, trying to take advantage of you, manipulate you. Why wouldn't you talk, in a discreet way so that other people don't fall into the same trap with a person and become another victim? Why wouldn't you? Why isn't it right? Why isn't it fair? Like, I think, we've been talking about this too, but like the patriarchy and how, it's protected, the person is protected who's cheating, lying, manipulating, jealous, trying to bring people down, like trying to set up a system. What so that, and this is something else that I want to get into, and maybe I'll do another reading about this, but that um it's like, why is it encouraged that a system would be set up for people, like one person to have an advantage over another person, and like for a person to be manipulated and controlled because of money? Like back in the day, a lot of women didn't have the rights, voting. They couldn't get jobs. If they did, they were not getting jobs that were paying as well as they are today. And like now we can see as the progress that women have made, and how we're able to more make our own choices, more choose, if we don't want to be in a manipulative, abusive situation, to be able to escape that, because financially and in other ways we can take care of ourselves. But I feel like, unfortunately, a system in the past was set up to hold those things in place, and now no more. So a lot of, this is a lot of theories. There are a lot of theories that I can talk about, but theories about how things came to be, as far as developing the patriarchy. But that is beyond the scope of this video. I don't want to make this video too long. But again, thank you for joining me on this. I don't know, you've seen some other videos maybe, but thank you for joining me if you haven't. Some of my videos can be pretty interesting as far as the topics go. But I'm gonna see, where else I go, what else I come up with next. But thank you again for joining me. I'm gonna stop the video for now, and I'll bring you another video soon. As always, happy lightning fast manifesting, and I'm gonna talk to y'all soon. All right, love y'all. Bye for now.